But I really let that grief and that guilt, eat me alive. But it's one of the things that I've grown closer to God with, because I now know that through these things, I can surrender myself to Him.
Welcome back to the Just God podcast. This is episode 26, and this is our special guest, Bella Noble. And by the time you're watching this is the New Year's episode. So happy New Year's. Whether you're watching this before New Year's, we haven't decided yet if we're going to release this New Year's or New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the Christmas episode. These are back-to-back episodes, or at least us filming them, back-to-back. So we really hope you guys enjoyed that episode. But anyways, Bella is going to be reading the verse of the week.
So I have Romans 8:18, which is, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is going to be revealed to us."
That's a good verse.
Yeah,
and, with Bella, she goes to our school, so that's really why we chose it
Yeah.
and stuff. But I just want to ask, what made you choose that verse? There's a lot of notes on there, so.
There is a lot of notes. I take so many notes in my Bible. Well, this one is probably one of my favorite verses. I have so many, but if I had to pick, I'd choose this one. I guess I've just dealt with a lot of grief and just trials throughout the past couple years, so I've always tried to look forward to the best and to look forward to the glory that will be revealed to me, and just to know that I always will get through the sufferings.
Yeah. Good reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick moment of silence.
Yeah.
So, I guess we asked it to every special guest, but what was going through your mind, you coming on this podcast?
Oh gosh, I really don't know. It's been tugging on my heart for a while now to share my testimony. I recently rededicated my life and got baptized in October because, I always knew about God, and I went to a Christian school my whole life. So I always knew about Jesus, but I was so far deep into the hole of the world that I didn't care. And it just got to a point where I couldn't live like that anymore. So I finally just had to give it all to God, because you can't live like that. It's so hard to just rely on yourself, that you have to realize that you're weak and that the only way that you can really be strong and push through is through Him. So
Yeah. Feels weird when I have a set topic for the
Yeah.
podcast. It's something different because I don't know.
Yeah. Since I don't think the Christmas movie had topic.
Yeah.
Dylan Novak, that was more of just an interview. So this is our third episode straight
without a topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of getting some
New year, new
to.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so awkward. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Awkward, but
it's just because you know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't had anyone that we actually knew since probably Cameron.
Noah.
Oh yeah, Noah. Yeah.
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 Then
Yeah.
it was Noah. But anyone from our school, I think it might have been Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess last week, Brett and Connor, but
Yeah.
that just kind of just felt normal and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent and Connor are still. It's weird that they're not on it because people are probably wondering, are they just special guests now, or
Yeah.
are they actually still hosts? But
Yeah. We don't know yet.
yeah, they couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
There are things going on and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, when you wanted to come on the podcast, you said that you really just kind of came to mostly just share your testimony stuff. So, I mean.
Yeah, I guess I could just get into it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So when I was little, I grew up in a pretty broken home. And first, let me start off by saying no one really has ever heard my testimony besides my sister, Megan. So this is kind of new for me, so bear with me. But yeah, so I grew up in a pretty broken home. My parents were on the brink of divorce pretty much ever since I was born. It's a whole long story. They were on and off drugs the whole time. And when I was about 8 years old, I moved in with my grandmother because it was just a really bad environment for a kid to grow up in, as I'm sure so many people can relate with. Um, so I moved in with my grandmother. My mom moved away. My dad, I don't really know, but that's fine. Um, and my mom still struggled with her drug addiction um, for a really long time. And I lived with my grandmother for about 3 years or so. Um, and when I was 14, I was a freshman in high school. Um, my mom did overdose on um, a lot of different drugs. And, that's pretty hard for a little girl to understand. You know, I always loved my mom. I never saw her a lot. We had our moments. We argued, and I blame myself for that. I blame myself that she left. I blame myself that, she was on these drugs. And it sounds really stupid when you think about it because you're like, why would you take the blame for that? You're just a kid. But, when you're down in that hole like that, you don't think about the logic behind it. You think, like, solely based on emotion. And that's what I did. And I just let that guilt eat me alive. And it was not good for my home life with my grandparents. And I'm sure as you know, now I live with Melody and Bob. Uh, they have been like the greatest people on the planet Earth. I think that they're wonderful. They're the parents of Megan, and she's my best friend, whom I now call my sister because we've known each other since we were little. But I moved in with them soon after my mom passed away because it was just a better environment for me to be in. It was really healthy, calm, quiet, and I needed that. Um, but I really let that grief and that guilt like eat me alive. So I started doing things that obviously no 14-year-old girl should do. I was drinking, smoking, vaping, abusing different substances. And I was so young. And I thought it was fine because I'd grown up around it. Everyone around me did it. It felt so normal. It felt so easy. And I liked that 15 seconds of not having to worry about it, not having to like feel that anxiousness, not having to feel that pain. But then, the 15 seconds is over and you're back in that same hole, if not 10 times worse. So it's just a consuming spiral. And once you get caught up in it, it's so hard to get out. And I mean, I was just digging myself deeper and deeper into that hole until I turned 17, which I'm 17 now, in August. Me and my sister, Megan, our relationship was just like terrible because, I obviously didn't want to tell my sister that I was doing all these awful things because, who wants to tell your family that? You want your family to think that you're just like them. So I just didn't want them to judge me, I guess. So I carried that for the longest time. And, I do go to a Christian school. So I saw like everyone around me be so Christian, if you take it that way. Like, and I was like, well, if I give my life to Jesus, they're only going to see me as who I am now. Like, they're never going to see me as this good Christian girl who is pure and holy and all that. Like, but I wish I would have just realized it sooner. Like, you don't you don't get clean to get in the shower or stuff like that. You get in the shower to get clean, and you go to God to get clean. And Lord, I wish when I was younger, just someone would have told me that. Someone would have screamed it in my ear. And I know when I was little, like, oh gosh, I hated getting preached to or whatever, as any young boy or girl does. But eventually, I just had to push down my pride. I was like, well, if they see me that way, who cares? Because in the end, it's not going to matter in eternity. I'm not going to care about how Pablo or Brock thought of me in history class when I'm in heaven, stuff like that. So, well, I was at church one day, and we had recently gotten a new pastor, and he was preaching about, having the head knowledge of God, but not the heart posture and relationship with him. And that was one of the biggest things that I struggled with was, obviously, I've known God my whole life. I know all the theology, the philosophy, all the stories, the books. I knew the Bible in and out, but I didn't have a relationship, and I didn't care to. But I felt so isolated, and I felt so far away from everyone. And I would have days where, like, I would wake up and my heart would just beat out of my chest, and I'd be so anxious for no reason. And, I always have sort of struggled with that anxiety thing. I don't know why. I think I was just born like it. But it's one of the things that I've grown closer to God with, because I now know that through these things, like, I can surrender myself to Him and let Him grow my heart through my struggles. And it's really good to see that in that way. When you accept your struggles and your trials as growth, then it becomes a lot easier to get through it. But I was in church that Sunday, and he was preaching about the head knowledge and the heart relationship, and we had, like, the invitation to come to service. And I had, like, been thinking the night before on my bed, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's so exhausting. It's so tiring to just be miserable all the time. And I didn't know why I was sad, but I do now. I know I didn't have the joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord has to be your strength, or you're just going to be going through life with no purpose. Like, I don't know. And when I was sitting in the pew, I had this thought come to my mind. And the reason I stayed is because on my bed that night, I told myself, well, wouldn't Megan be sad if you killed yourself? Wouldn't Melody and Bob be sad? Wouldn't your grandparents be sad? Wouldn't you have to have all your family come down? Wouldn't they have to pay for a funeral? And when I was sitting in that pew, I realized it wasn't me who told myself that. It wasn't me who convinced me I was good enough. It wasn't me who told me I was going to be okay. It was him the whole time. And I felt so much shame that I never showed any gratitude to him for it, that I never thanked him for it, that I never realized who was behind the scenes the whole time, that I never accepted my Creator as the one who put me here for a purpose, on purpose, for a reason that I don't comprehend now. I probably won't for a while, but that's okay, because it's all for the glory of God. And I stood up out of my seat, and I, like, pretty much felt like I ran down to the altar, and I just started crying. And I was like, God, thank you that I even have this feeling in my heart to accept you, that, I have the ability to be here. We have to realize just how much, I'm so thankful for the small things now because of that. Like, so thankful that I made it safe here, that you guys made it safe here, that you didn't get a wreck, that you probably didn't crash because you were speeding, stuff like that, And I don't know, it's just great because from that day, your whole perspective shifts, I feel like. And my perspective before that day was, why am I even here? What am I doing? What? I'm going to graduate high school. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get a job. And then what? Just make money for the rest of my life and spend it for food and clothes and stuff? But, like, now I have such a clear purpose in life, and it's so amazing to not have that weight on your back anymore. to not have to lean on things that make you feel better for 20 minutes, 15 seconds, that you have something that you can go to that will fulfill you every time. Every time. You don't have to go to something that you have to take more of to feel something better. Like, it's so good to finally have something that will never leave and that is always there and that I can always rely on. So yeah.
Dang, that was good.
Pretty good. Last episode we were saying that we should laugh last episode because when it's your episode we're gonna be really quiet.
Yeah.
Me?
No, like me and Brock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
We were super quiet for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, we were really quiet. That was good
yeah,
though.
I really like that.
Yeah.
So, just, wow, that's a lot to unpack. right
Yeah.
there.
I feel like we're having a reaction of what we did with Kiara and Reagan and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different that we like know you, I guess.
I bet it is different because, I mean, I've known Pablo since, well, we're seniors. I'm sure everyone out here knows that we're seniors in high school, but I've known Pablo since we were in like 7th grade, Brock since we were in 9th grade, and I don't think they knew anything like that about me.
No.
No.
I didn't
Because
talk to you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, when you do stuff like that, you obviously try to hide it, and because I had that like guilt about it, I always wanted people to think I was a good girl or stuff like that. So, yeah.
Dang. I'm still like shocked. So
Yeah.
like, and you said you was 14, like
Mhm.
when you were drinking and stuff.
Mhm.
How did you know? Well, let me backtrack. Did you grow up in church or no? Or did your parents ever take you to church or anything? Or
I vaguely remember going to like the Wednesday night like youth group things sometimes at the fellowship, which is the church I go to now. I mean, I'll go every once in a while, but no, I wasn't raised in church a lot. My grandparents put me in the Christian school because I think they're trying to make up for what I was growing up in, if I'm being honest. And that's fine. Like, I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to be going to Marshall Christian, because if I was going to like any other public school or anything, I wouldn't have that like daily devotion to Jesus. I wouldn't have that that opportunity every morning to submit myself to his will. And that, I feel like, is one of the biggest reasons why I did end up deciding to accept him into my heart. So yeah.
I mean, I don't think like Brock was like that's crazy, like shocked and stuff. I don't think I'm as like shocked. I would say I think just like hearing the story start from like end, it's just like how I don't know. There's how everything kind of came together at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, like as you were saying, like your grandparents putting you in here and like in Marshall. I think it's just like obviously. I think I've talked to this like with Brock before. I mean, a lot of people they have like really bad like upcomings. Their childhood is bad and all this bad stuff happens to them when they're really young. But at the same time, like people like you, who've been on the podcast, even though they've had bad experiences, they weren't given the upper hand and all that stuff. They've still like made it out and stuff.
Yeah.
They've still gotten closer to Jesus, and I feel like that's just like. Even though if you do have a bad like past, I don't think that's like an excuse. Like I don't think that's a proper excuse.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like to use
100%.
that, and I met like a lot of people like you that have had really bad experiences. I mean, I'm gonna say this again, like you said. I mean, Kiara's was like absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, she was literally the opposite.
Yeah.
When she was doing witchcraft and all this stuff. And now she's a Christian. That's insane, So I think that's just like just hearing the whole story, because I feel like you've told us like bits and pieces, but like just hearing it all like put together is just like that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, a lot of stuff had to go wrong for it to end up going right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things had to go wrong before I finally got it right. And I think that one of the reasons I used to blame God for all the things that I had to go through. I was like, God, like, why did my mom have to die? Like, what was the reason for that? Like, but I think that the reason that we experience pain and, trials and stuff like that is so we can appreciate the mercy that he has for us. Because think about all the feelings and emotions you had during those trials. Were they pure? Were they upright? Or were they tearing you down? So you have to accept that everything we have is for a purpose. Everything we go through is for a purpose. And God is a just God. God's a gentleman. He's not going to do anything that he doesn't see as good. And you might not see it in the time, but you have to look at the bigger picture. And when I look at the bigger picture, I don't think I would have ever realized how good God is if I didn't have to experience the things I did. Because when I look at my life, when I look at my childhood, I'm like, whoa, it could have been so much worse. Is it bad? Is it that some of this stuff happened to me? Yeah. Do I wish that children would grow up like me? Not at all. But I'm grateful that it wasn't 10 times worse. I'm grateful that I still had a mom and dad growing up. Were they as uplifting, as stable as, a child should grow up in? No, but at least I had them. At least I had a bed to sleep in, a house to go home to. I'm so grateful that it could have been so much worse. And I'm so glad that I finally have something to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, moving with Bob and Melody, how did that, end up happening?
So, right after my mom died, I was so angry all the time. I'd have screaming matches with my grandmother pretty much every morning, every night, every time I got home from school. And I was like, Megan, I cannot do this anymore. Can I please come over? She was like, duh. We hung out all the time anyways, because we've known each other since we were in the womb. So I went over there and I was like, well, I really don't want to go home. Can I sleep over? She was like, yeah. And then the next day I was like, oh, I really don't want to go home. Can I sleep over? And then 2 weeks went by, and then 2 months, and now 2 years. So yeah, pretty much like that. And I just slowly over time started moving all my stuff over here.
That's a long sleepover.
We've just had a really long sleepover. It's fine.
Does your grandmother know or no?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gone missing.
She's waiting.
No, I didn't go missing. No, I talk to her all the time. Yeah. We still have our tiffs, but I love her to death. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm realizing is how kind of what you said, how it could have been so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing the home life that I've grown up with, and realizing that I'm not grateful enough for it. Because so much people have to go through so much worse. I grew up with basically the perfect family that you could have, pretty much. And I feel like a lot of people grow up with the same way I have and aren't really grateful for it.
Yeah.
And don't really appreciate it as much as some people would like to have it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, one of the things that when I was little, I always prayed for a perfect family, which let me say, no family is perfect.
Mhm.
Every family has their issues, and because no one is perfect, and it's your parents' first time living too, so we always have to give them grace for that. But when I was little, I was like, oh, God, why do my mom and dad have to be like that? Why are they always fighting? Why this? Why that? I just want a normal family. But if I didn't go through that, if they weren't like that, I never would have gotten Melody and Bob and Megan and their family. And they're pretty close to perfect, Gosh, I just have so much gratitude towards them. But yeah, like you said, it's so easy to not be thankful for things that we've had all our life. But you got to give yourself grace for that. You've grown up with it. Of course, it's all you've ever known. But yeah, I'm really, really thankful that I finally do have perfect family per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you were saying, we've known each other since middle school, and I think this kind of goes along with not knowing what someone's going through.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know any of this.
Yeah,
I did not even know you and Megan were living together. till like last year.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Brock knew already too.
Yeah, I kind of.
I was like,
yeah.
y'all live together, and Brock was like, yeah. I was
Please
like,
tell me
yeah.
you're kidding.
I think I found out.
Not.
I think I may have found out the same time you, or like a couple months ahead.
Yeah,
I think.
because I literally had no idea. Like I honestly didn't even know nothing about you.
Yeah.
Well, low key, we did kind of try to like keep it on the down low for a while, but now I don't really care because I'm about to be 18, and who cares? So,
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's insane.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, just that whole thing.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. You never really do know what someone's going through. That's why one of the biggest things I try so hard to be a welcoming person, and I don't know. I ask God pretty much every day to help me be more of an imitator of Christ, because you do never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone comes home to at night. So
Mhm.
you should always try to show them the love of Jesus whenever you can.
Yeah. I think too, like going to like a Christian school, you think everyone's already saved and stuff.
That's what I honestly thought when I first went there. I thought everyone's gonna be like reciting Bible verses
Yeah.
in the hallways.
Yeah. And like, not even like your testimony, but I mean, I bet there's so many others at our school that have those kind of testimonies that you have and stuff like that. And people don't really, I guess, realize it or kind of just put like a stereotype on Christian schools
Mhm.
that they're all just already going to heaven and stuff and they're good, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not like that.
Oh yeah. I just want to give a quick moment to just like, give everyone who's watching right now appreciation, because I mean 2025 is, by the time we film this, it'll be literally like New Year's.
Yeah.
And I just want to like, it's just crazy. Like this whole year has gone. Like we started
Mhm.
the podcast back in February,
Yeah.
and just seeing how far it's gone, and just like everyone watching,
Mhm.
because I know there's a lot of people who consistently watch these episodes, whether that's on our YouTube channel or Spotify, or even if they just watch the reels,
Yeah.
that's insane, bro. Just like this whole year, bro, has been like, yeah, it's had its ups and downs for sure,
Mhm.
but definitely the biggest up, not just this year, but my entire life, is this podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole thing has just changed my like entire life and stuff, and if I didn't have it, it's like I say it's almost like an outlet, I guess,
Yeah.
to like get things out there and stuff.
Mhm.
And we haven't filmed literally in forever.
Mhm.
Besides the Christmas episode, but I'm just like, every time we film, it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels so good to like just film, I guess, like
Yeah.
the podcast and stuff, because I mean, I rarely do this,
Mhm.
like we were like filming podcasts literally every single week,
Yeah.
to now like we have to try to fit one every month,
Mhm.
and like doing that, I want to go back to the week to week episodes,
Yeah.
or because like that just like, I don't know, it's just really nice and stuff.
Mhm.
And obviously with basketball and stuff, it's really hard to do that,
Yeah.
and just like the Christmas, the winter season stuff, and
Mhm.
all this stuff. So much stuff is going on, but we do have something planned. So this is the last episode before the big surprise,
Yeah.
which we don't know if we're gonna release it January or February. Hopefully January though.
Yeah.
February would be too long.
January, fingers crossed, hopefully.
Yeah, but we do have a huge surprise planned, and some people know it, some people don't. Most of you guys watching probably don't know what we
Mhm.
have, but yeah, next
Yeah.
episode is gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. I think too, like with the podcast, we've met so many different people and so heard so many different stories of people's lives and their testimonies and stuff. And we haven't even started really, I guess, like asking people or
Mhm.
like what their testimony is until maybe like Noah's podcast, honestly.
Yeah, I think it
I
was
think-
Noah's where we like. That's the first time we really had someone's like full
Mhm.
testimony on there,
Yeah.
and ever since that we just started to roll with it.
Yeah. And I remember like in I think it was in class one day, we went back and watched the first episode, and bro, it's like crazy to see how much we've all like changed and grew and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's actually insane.
I know, bro. Like, it does not feel like it's about to be a whole year.
Yeah, I like how like all our early episodes are all our friends, and then as we continued, we got newer people and met newer faces and
People
stuff.
that we never even knew before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's insane to think about.
Remember when y'all asked me to come on here in the summer?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
right
Yeah.
before the school year ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me say that's like when I was at the lowest point in my life. So
Oh.
you did not want me on here. But yeah, it was really bad then.
Yeah, we asked like basically everybody at our school, which I mean, we're still asking people. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I mean, and two, like, we've talked about it before on the podcast where like we've asked people and they've rejected it, but we've also looked at it as maybe that's the season that they're growing in, and then when we get them on the podcast, they have something to share like
That's so
that
true.
can touch somebody and stuff like that, and not really like I guess shame them for rejecting it, because I mean it's honestly like when Pablo asked us, or when me and Pablo came up with the idea for a podcast, I honestly did not think we'd go through it. Like I thought it'd just be like
I
an
also
idea.
thought it'd be like great idea, but we're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
It's too much time. It's like the money. We don't really have the money for it.
yeah,
But I mean, and up filming in the basement saves a lot of money. So.
yeah,
Not the basement, garage.
yeah,
And I remember we literally, oh my gosh, we like, we did this every episode. We were like rehash the first episode.
yeah.
We need like a full podcast, just like going over the whole thing.
Origin story.
We always go over origin story.
Yeah, there's like
It's always a little like timeline thing, a little
Yeah.
time thing.
But I'm not gonna bore you guys with it, but I mean, it's almost the new year, so
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, it's just crazy, like how far it's come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got this whole new thing, and it's just
Yeah.
like huge now.
Mm-hmm.
So much supporters, bro. Like
Now, honestly,
we went
yeah.
from our school, no one even knew what it was,
Mm-hmm.
to now like everyone knowing. What
I remember
it
we
is.
had to like put it on little like we'd have posters
Yeah.
for people to know what it was, but now everyone just knows.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's like a barcode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember the barcode.
I don't know if anyone ever scanned it or not, but hey, it was
I
there.
think you got a couple subscribers.
Yeah.
I think I scanned it, but I don't think I subscribed.
We literally had
Okay.
we literally had to tell people like, hey, we literally had a poster and like everyone would walk by it.
Yeah.
No one.
We'd
cared.
place it in the most busiest spots
Bro,
in the
that's
school.
insane, bro. Like that's when we had like 10 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have.
Your first subscriber was our first subscriber your mom?
I honestly don't even know.
Or I don't know.
Not
I
even
don't
my mom,
remember.
dad. Or,
Yeah.
I don't even know, bro. It's like when we didn't even film an episode yet.
Yeah.
I just like made the channel. It might have been me, to be honest. I might have been the
Yeah.
first one to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
That's just like, wow. Now we're like, I think at 270,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, that's crazy.
I remember we was like excited for like 50 subscribers or 25 and stuff like
100
that.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Triple digits.
Yeah.
But
It's just crazy to see the growth of it
mhm,
like come together.
yeah.
That was episode 26 of the Just God podcast with Bella Noblet. Thank you, Bella, for coming on. And this
Yeah.
was also the New Year's Eve
Yeah. And
slash
this